welcome to another exciting version of The Antique Trader. And today we have Joe Gardfalo from the Bronx with war memorabilia. Welcome to the program, Mr. Gardfalo.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I've been a carpenter all my life. Before I entered the service in 1942 to 45, I was a CB attached to the Marine Corps, and I fought in the Pacific.
And these things that you bought here today, how did you begin collecting and why?
Well, we never glorified the war, but certain mementos you would like to keep. I was a crazy souvenir hunter, which was very dangerous, but I accumulated a few things.
And could you tell us one of the things that you bought here? I see a grenade. You were showing me this grenade before, and I thought this was very exciting. Could you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, this is a Japanese grenade. It has a plunger with a pin. To activate it, you pull out the pin and you hit the plunger on your helmet. And within 5 seconds, you have to let it go.
Let's show these to our friends at home. And it's quite heavy also. What was it? You pulled out the pin and you turned it over and you banged it on your head.
On your helmet.
On your helmet to activate it.
Any hard object.
Hard surface.
But you have to let it go within 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. And you told me something else very, very interesting about this.
That, I was told, belonged to kamikaze pilots. They wore it as some sort of a symbol around their neck. As you could see, there are 2 holes on top.
They have 2 little holes here that we can see. And they hung this around their neck?
Mm-hmm. Under their shirt.
And under their shirts, inside the shirts,
yeah.
It could not be seen.
Correct.
And then afterwards?
There was no afterwards, because after their first flight, they were gone. They were suicide pilots.
Oh, okay.
No return trip.
And this is what? Do you know what this says here exactly?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. And we have a bullet here. And what did you tell me it was so funny about this bullet?
That's the projectile, the tip. Instead of being lead or copper coated, it is made out of wood.
So if you get hit with this, you're bound to get splinters. Isn't that what you told me?
You get killed by a splinter. You're right.
Okay.
They were very rare.
And this is?
This is, I think it's called the 8th Order for certain heroism for the Japanese soldier.
And how did this come into your hands?
Well, scavenging again. I found it in a cave.
In a cave where?
On the island of Saipan.
And how many years ago would you say that was? What year was
1944, so 58, 59 years.
1944. It's very interesting. And take a look at the case. It's got an inscription there. Too bad I can't read it. Okay. And we have something else here. This you told me was from...
a Japanese fighter plane Zero, the Zero. That's a spark plug.
It almost looks like a regular spark plug.
It does.
All right. And let's see what you bought. What else you bought here? What is this?
This is the fuel. You light it with a match, and you heat up your coffee.
This is fuel?
Yeah, it's a pill. It lasts a few minutes.
Okay.
If you have instant soup, what they had at that time were coffee. But the coffee was horrible. If the enemy didn't kill you, the coffee would, so...
The coffee was horrible. Well, I've been camping and I've made coffee and I'll just put it through a sock, put the water through a sock. A brand new clean sock, it'll work.
That's all right.
It'll work. Okay, could you show us what else?
Okay. This is a Japanese ceremonial knife.
Okay, what type of ceremony are these used in?
Well, that's to end their life. That's to disbowel themselves.
Wow.
And this is another type.
I guess this would be the ones that they use in the ninja movies and stuff like that. Right. How very interesting. And where did you get this one?
This, believe it or not, I got at a garage sale in Yonkers years
At
ago.
a yard sale in Yonkers?
That's why we want people to donate this stuff to the museum.
That's wonderful. This would be great for the museum.
Yeah.
And what is this?
That's the same, for the same procedure. Same type.
Not a very happy procedure.
No.
Now, on the handle here, as you can see, this handle is ivory.
Ivory or bone, I wouldn't know.
It
But
looks like
it
ivory.
looks like ivory,
My
but-
experience with ivory, and it's
Scrimshawed with
very, very nicely.
what's
And it's hollow. As you can see there, it's hollow. But the imprint is very, very beautiful.
what you don't cut yourself.
And it's very sharp. If I cut myself, I'll... Okay. And this here.
This is that's a government issue CB knife.
Okay, let's see what a CB knife is.
Just hold on to this part.
I'll hold on to this
Yeah.
part.
Hold it.
I'm learning.
U.S. Navy,
Okay, here we go. U.S. Navy.
that's an issue.
Okay, and what year is this? Do you know?
Oh, 1944, 45. No, 44.
Very interesting. And if people want to donate something to your cause, you were telling me that you've been trying to get a museum established here in the
In the
Bronx.
Bronx, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like I mentioned, I started a little over 2 years ago. We were in a bagel shop on Morris Park Avenue, a group of veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and we're discussing this memorabilia. So I came up with the idea, instead of when your children grow up and you pass on, what happens to all your relics? So we came up with the idea of starting a museum. Now we were looking for a place, and I thought of Fort Schuyler. It would be most convenient for us to travel to and fro, and everything would be safe there. Years ago, I donated to the American Legion and the VFW. Within a week or two, everything was stolen.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Now, if anyone would like to get in touch with you in order to help you with your project,
Yeah.
where would they get in touch with you? Could you give us a telephone number?
Yes. Area code 718-792-0193.
Okay, in a few moments we'll continue with more of the Antique Trader, and we'll continue with more war memorabilia. We'll be right back.
Make contact. Make friends. Make fun.
Friends.
Trouble.
Make a point.
Make it happen.
Make believe. Like good. Make new. Make clear. Make up your mind. Make peace. Make inroads. Right. Reference. Make change. Change.
Make hate.
Make something. Make a stand. Make art. Make a difference. Make a difference.
Make noise.
I think you should wear a tie.
Dad, nobody wears ties to school.
Tie says you're serious. It'll make a good impression. And remember, you're there
To
to...
make something of myself.
Almost half of all UNCF students are the first in their family to go to college.
And I'd make sure that I got my lunch.
Dad, you're not going. I am.
I know.
And when you're the first to go, you're going for a lot of people. The United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
And now, before we continue with the program, here's Jimmy Preacher Robbins.
It must have been cold there in my shadow, with never any sunlight on your face. You were contented to let me shine, for that's your way. You even walked a step behind. Now I am the one with all of the glory. You were the one that always had the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. But you always kept a smile. You never once complained. I failed to tell you, you're my hero. Everything I've always wanted to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. I thank God you're the wind.
Hi, welcome back to The Antique Trader, and that was Jimmy Preacher Robbins with his gorgeous music. We're here tonight with Joseph Gardfalo. Mr. Gardfalo, you brought some pictures for us, and could you tell me what this is?
This is when I went back for the 50th anniversary of the invasion of Saipan, and I finally got to meet the enemy.
So you're here actually taking pictures with the enemy. Isn't that wonderful?
That's on the USS San Bernardino.
And how
ship.
many years later was this?
This was exactly 50 years ago.
50
at the time.
years ago.
1994.
When you were fighting.
1944.
And where did this take place?
On San Bernardino, a Navy warship.
Okay. And when did you take this picture?
June of 1994.
That's great. And let's turn this over, and there's another picture back here. Could you tell us about this picture?
Of course, also the enemy, and the gentleman on the right, Lenny DeLunas, who
This gentleman here?
Yes, sadly passed away 2 years ago. We were in the same outfit, and we kept in touch all these years.
Okay. And we have more pictures here. Let's show them this one.
This is atomic bomb pit number 1. We actually dug the bomb pit in 1945 for the Enola Gay. The idea of a bomb pit is for a little boy or fat boy, that's the name of the bomb, that was lowered into the pit. Then the plane straddled the pit and it was hoisted up. That was the only way to load the plane because the bomb was too large to place into the plane. It had to be lowered first.
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Now, let's see, we have some more pictures here that we can show. And could you tell us about this one?
This is myself in 1944, Tinian Island.
Tinian Island, 1944.
Right.
Beautiful.
That's a Japanese flag.
And this?
That's also Tinian Islands.
And that's you in the Tinian Islands
Correct.
in 1944. Okay, let's quickly go through this. And where did that take place?
That's on the island of Saipan. The background, that's Saipan. The little island here is called Bird Island. And Robert Sibley is on my left or right, whatever. He's from Newburgh, New York. That was taken in 1945. This picture was taken at the groundbreaking ceremony of World War II Memorial.
Which was when?
It was November of 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's Ambassador Hayden Williams. He's one of the big shots with the memorial. I met him on Saipan 8 years ago, and then I saw him 2 years ago. He's with the American Battle Monument Commission.
Have you gotten in touch with him
Yes.
in reference to your museum?
No, I didn't know.
Maybe you should. Sounds like a very, very interesting project. And
It's a little confusing. That's myself in a Marine uniform. I originally joined the Navy, but I was transferred into the Marine Corps. The 121st Seabees were part of the Marine Corps. It was the 3rd Battalion, 20th Marines, 4th Marine Division. It's a little confusing.
okay, and this one here?
That's myself in the Navy uniform.
That's great.
Picture's quite faded now.
And you have something else in the front there that you wanted to show us.
This was my father's. He was a veteran of World War I,
All right.
and that's his original shaving gear.
Okay, and this was, I don't know, if I've seen these before, been around. This you actually go over there and put, what do you
A double-edged razor.
on double-edged razor. And this is where the razors are.
Kept, right, correct.
They're kept in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what year did you say this was?
1918.
1918.
It says here, property of U.S. government. US,
So you mean if someone would have walked to purchase this, you know, corner grocery store
no, no,
or
that was
the
issue.
pharmacy?
It's an issue.
It's an issue. Okay. And take a look at the casing outside. You could tell it's old. Okay. You've got a very interesting letter here. And you were telling us about the letter. It's from Vietnam Veterans of America. Is there any way you can slightly read that quickly so that our
I
viewers...
received this today. It's CC to Jeff Klein and myself, and this is Francesca Mahoney Riley. She's the Bronx District Director. Dear Ms. Riley, we, the members and Executive Committee of the Vietnam Veterans of America, Bronx Chapter number 118, along with the thousands of other concerned veterans of the Bronx, support and are enthusiastic about the proposed military museum to be erected in our borough. This project would give the residents of our great borough an opportunity to learn and teach their children and grandchildren all about veterans from all wars and about the price we have to pay to remain the great country we are today. They would be able to learn about the heroes who fought with pride and love and will understand about the high cost of freedom. If there is anything we can do to help you with this great endeavor, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you in advance. Sincerely, Carlos Baez, President, Michael Daly, Vice President, Renee Gaskeg, Executive President.
That is wonderful. And I wish you lots of luck with that project.
Thank you
and,
very much.
If someone would like to reach you in reference to donating anything that they would like to donate, where could they reach you?
They could reach me at my home, and my number is area code 718-792-0193.
Or if you can't reach them there, kindly call Contessa Productions at area code 914-751-9962. And we'll continue with more of The Antique Trader after we listen to more of Dina Ketchum's singing and Preacher Robbins.
Your dad is rich, and your mom, she's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your little wings, and you take to the sky. Until that morning, oh, nothing can harm you. With Mama and Daddy standing by.
And that was Dina Ketchum, Lady Bird Sunshine, and Summertime. And we're back with Joseph Garofalo here. And Mr. Garofalo, you bought this beautiful flag. Tell us about this flag.
This was a waistband that the Imperial Japanese Marines used. They are the elite forces of Japan,
Okay, and they would be like the Marines here?
comparable to the Marines. yeah.
Comparable to the Marines
Right.
here. That's great. And also you got your first donation
This was my
here.
first donation from Vietnam veteran,
And these are
combat rations.
meal combat individual. Beans, frankfurted chunks, and tomato sauce. Okay, let's take a peek in here. Let's see what we can find. This, of course, this is for after the meal. Okay. And this is, let's see what we have here, beverage. Crackers, hot chocolate, beverage, powder. And we have a whole bunch of other little cans, and I'm sure everybody knows what rations look like. And this is what, seedless blackberry. Wonderful. I love the little green cans also.
And that's the
then-
main course. what you-
And that's the main
No,
course?
what you-
Oh, in here, okay. And this is fruit cake.
Okay, that's the dessert, okay.
Fruit cake. And there's something sticky. Is the fruit cake coming out of the can? Okay.
Now, the last one is dangerous.
What?
No, that's the one that's oozing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
original, all
Okay.
original.
All original. Okay. And this is. Let's see what this is. I'll probably have to go over there because I'll be all full of pork and beans. Beans with flavoring and chunks of frankfurter and tomato sauce. And this is the main course. This is not a TV dinner. It's an army ration.
And it's
Okay.
not bread. It doesn't come from Hebrew National.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
it's just whatever we could eat as long as we had food.
All right.
All right. Now, I see a lot of bucks here. Here at the Antique Trader, we probably hit some treasure, found some hidden treasures somewhere. Okay, could you tell us about this?
That's Japanese money. In June of 1944, the fourth day of the battle, we blew up a safe on the island of Tinian. And we thought we were going to be rich, but that's all it is, Japanese yen.
Isn't this terrific? They
Very
actually-
interesting.
It is very interesting, and there's plenty of it. But for anyone that hasn't seen Japanese money, this is it. And there's stacks and stacks of it. And you'll probably be able to see this at the museum that they're trying to work on. And could you tell us a little bit more about
Yes.
what you're planning to do in the near future?
Well, we would like veterans of all wars to donate whatever they can, whatever is available, letters, photos, documents, helmets, bayonets, mess kits, anything at all, to be of interest to the public to view.
I would really like all viewers, if possible, to participate with this because I think it's very important for the Borough of the Bronx
Yes.
and for all veterans concerned. And if you can't reach Mr. Garofalo, you could reach me at 914-751-9962. And Mr. Garofalo, could you please give him your number?
My number is area code 718-792-0193.
That's great. And when we come back, we'll tell you what's going to take place next time we see you on the Antique Trader. And now we'll go to more of Dina Catchin and Preacher.
From the highest mountains to the valleys down below, through the battles we remember, into wars we had to go. I'm proud to serve my country in whatever I may do. So I want to tell my story of my flag, red, white, and blue. Yes, I want to tell my story of my flag, red, white, and blue. My father's in the military, Grandpa's long been gone. He's laying in the cemetery, he gave his life in war.